This is where it's at.
There is already laughter coming in the studio before I even turn the music down.
Right?
Do you want to know why, Trey?
Why what?
Why there's laughter?
Absolutely.
I'm staring at two beautiful guests we have on the show. Last time we had a guest on, I was told that...
You don't shut the fuck up?
I don't shut the fuck up. Well, we took a little too long to get there last time.
Yeah.
I think we waited about 30 minutes of my rambling.
Well, now they're here.
Now they're here, and I'm going to let them come right on. What about that?
Let's do this.
So, in front of me, I've got a beautiful young lady named Meg. Hi, Meg.
Hey.
A little closer to the mic, Meg.
Hey.
And another beautiful gentleman. Well, beautiful gentleman, not another beautiful gentleman. Beautiful gentleman named Antwan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. This is going to be a fun show.
Yes.
Anybody that knows us so far knows that I like to talk and like to have a plan, if you will. I have no plan.
No plan?
No plan, because these two here are going to run the show.
I like it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead, guys.
Just go.
Ain't not so easy, huh? No, I'm kidding.
No, but we could.
I bet you could. I really
Long
do.
story short.
I bet you
It's been a whole day and I haven't seen anything yet.
There you go. Meg, tell us who you are.
Okay.
Your likes, your
My
dislikes.
name- Meg. I am a college student in finance.
Is that like numbers and shit?
Yeah.
Could you balance? Could you?
No, it should
No.
balance, but it doesn't.
Oh,
Do you have any stock tips?
yeah.
Buy low, sell high.
Anybody that's listening to the show knows we are a stock show. We
Yeah, that's how we roll.
we talk about.
There is no such thing as beating the market.
Is this that insider trading podcast to talk about? Like,
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have said
Everyone invest in Elon Musk,
Oh,
Really?
the man.
who?
The man.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's a breakthrough.
Yeah,
he-
he's
he
about
is
to
him.
cage fight Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
That's what we
that.
care.
I would
Win
actually.
that.
Are you
pay to
actually?
see that.
I would actually pay for that.
Did
Yeah.
you
Me
hear?
too.
No,
You heard
Elon
about
Musk
that, right?
and Zuckerberg.
Oh, I thought you meant. Okay.
No.
I was like, that's so interesting.
That would be cool, though. Yeah.
No, I pointed at him because we had been talking about it. Not because Trey would run around in circles from
Yeah. I
anybody.
probably would be screaming. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Punch in the face.
Antwan, tell me about you, my man.
My name is Antwan. I too am a college student and I study accounting. And
More numbers.
Yes, and when the books don't balance, I write should have balanced frowny face, and I move on.
Is that how you show your work?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do I get you to be my accountant?
No.
No. Oh,
kind of
that
accounting
was
do you do?
fast.
I do tax accounting, so
Oh,
if you,
shit.
I don't do tax fraud though. That's someone else that I know, but I do legal tax accounting.
Legal tax accounting.
Yes,
Well, that's good versus illegal tax account.
I've seen it.
Oh, I bet.
Have you?
No,
It's illegal to
I'm
see
a
it and not
liar.
report it.
Well, the reason I'm having these wonderful guests on is because there are multiple reasons. The main reason is they're a lot younger than we are, and so in order to add credibility to anything Trey and I say, I promised everybody different perspectives, and I think that we have that here tonight.
Do we care about credibility? Credibility?
I
God
pretend
damn.
you guys are both considered Gen Z, which you've let us know plenty already.
Yeah.
Since you've been here.
Making fun of my Android phone.
Well, that's every generation needs to make fun of that.
Yeah.
if we did a group text right now, you would cause us to be green.
I'd be the only green dot?
Yeah. No, you'd cause all of us to be green.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's
That's
also
what's
not
so
fair.
upsetting about it.
Well, who fucking cares?
Do you hear everybody how fired up we are over here on this side?
If I can't
feel like I'm
name the
being
group
judged
chat,
right
I'm
now.
going to leave the group chat.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
shit. That's serious right now.
Can't name it.
I feel it.
Wow.
I feel it.
I'm going to go buy an iPhone right now.
Don't give in to peer pressure.
I'm not.
Be strong. Dare. Drugs,
Make all you bitches green.
yes.
Yeah.
But Antwan, you are gay and black.
Oh my, what? Wait. Yeah.
I thought it was just from Houston.
The only reason
I'm not from, I'm from the Houston area.
Area. sorry.
yeah. The only reason I say that, by the way, very attractive man.
What?
Yeah. And that's
He's blushing
that's from
now.
a straight cracker, and and so the reason that I say that,
Wow.
the reason that I say that is because when I ask you some questions coming up, I want our audience to know just the perspective that I'm gaining, and the reason that I'm asking some of these questions is because Antwan is a gentleman who can really enlighten us, because we are big dumb 40-year-old white boys. Right?
Yeah.
So the reason that I mentioned the things about you, Antwan, is because of the following questions. The first question I have is: do both of you like or dislike mayonnaise?
Oh my God. I
know
love
you love
mayonnaise. I
mayonnaise.
put,
I love a good mayonnaise.
I put mayonnaise on my hot dogs, my burgers. It can spice anything up. You put it in chicken
Spice
salad. It's the basis of like any
Are
type
you lying right
No,
now?
this
No,
is
no,
true.
I love mayonnaise. No, like look at the excitement
Bullshit.
in my eyes.
No, his
Ask my
Whataburger
mom.
Order,
Whataburger.
Whataburger order.
Oh.
Mayonnaise.
He has to ask for mayonnaise or
Really?
it's ruined.
Yes.
Okay. So did you know that's a big stereotype of white people, that we all like mayonnaise?
Yes.
That's why I'm asking you, is because because you're basically saying, okay, it's kind of like we like other foods.
There we go.
I was just curious.
No,
But
yeah,
you
but-
got very excited about mayonnaise.
Well, okay, here's the thing. So back home, my dad's black. My stepmom, who I just call my mom, so my mom,
Your
from this
mom.
point on, is white, right? And so they both like, my mom, she's like kind of like a spicy white. I don't know how to further explain that. So just go with that.
She got a fun
Spicy
personality.
white, okay.
Yeah, she's fun. But they both love Miracle Whip. And one day I was like,
no.
I cannot handle
No,
this
no.
crap anymore. I need mayonnaise. And so my mom always buys mayonnaise just for me.
Miracle Whip.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it's just, no.
But it's a
We
black
all agree-
stereotype that
we all agree on Miracle Whip sucks.
I can't
Okay.
do it.
All right, continue.
Unless you're making tartar sauce.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
require Miracle Whip?
Yeah, it's better with Miracle Whip.
Oh, I didn't know
Because
that.
it's a little sweeter.
Who makes tartar sauce?
Not I.
Buy it at the store.
Sorry, I lived in Florida. I don't know. I want my own.
I like Miracle Whip.
Meg, we'll get to you, all right?
I just thought it was important in case anybody wants
Meg
to
is canceled. She's leaving the villa.
She's from Florida.
Boy.
Okay, so good. Your mom buys you mayonnaise.
Yeah.
What a mom. That's a great mom.
No, she's amazing.
Because Miracle Whip blows. Next question. And Trey, we both like mayonnaise too, so we fit the
Yes.
stereotype there.
We fit that stereotype.
Second, toilet paper rolls, over or under?
No. Over.
Okay, thank you. Meg,
I don't know.
you don't really
You
care.
don't know.
Never noticed.
Do they not put toilet paper on rolls in Florida?
Yeah, we actually don't have toilets.
Do you?
See, I prefer the bidet. Fuck toilet
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
You can ask
Trey's
Antwan, but I
bidet.
also have like a controversial opinion on toilet paper, like the kind I buy.
Oh,
I buy the same kind.
You buy one ply?
Yes, we
I
talked
love a
about
good
this.
one ply
It's-
toilet paper.
It gets
okay.
all the nooks and crannies a lot
Everyone,
better.
take it easy over there with the
What's
one
wrong with
ply.
a two-ply?
It's too much.
You can't
It's
get
too
the nooks
much?
and crannies with two ply.
Two ply just
Too much two ply.
Charmin's lying to you. It
They
leaves
are
a trail.
So one
oh my
ply.
God.
Okay.
I'm like a cotton L or whatever
Oh,
that is.
no,
That's
it's too
too
much.
thick.
There's
Yeah.
some lines on there that makes
And
it
I'm also
comfortable.
poor.
The happy duo or the duo is like some Scott's one ply toilet
Okay.
paper with like some wipes.
Wipes.
Yes.
See, we're
Oh, okay.
lear-
Wet wipes. Yeah.
We're already learning
Or a
so
bidet.
much. We're learning. This is what Gen Z can teach
I'm
us,
trying to get you
by
to do the
way.
bidet.
I want a bidet so
Yeah,
bad.
see,
Yes.
Trey,
I'm
don't.
afraid of a bidet
You can get an attachment that a bidet's wonderful, man.
Why are you afraid of bidets?
because it's just like, what if it gets messy?
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
my God.
Meg,
No,
wow.
because that joke
What are
is
you trying
actually
to
so
say,
layered.
Meg?
You have no idea.
Okay, but Meg said it, so we're in the clear.
Right.
We're okay to laugh at
That
that?
wasn't even a joke.
She was actually like inquiring as to why
Yeah.
I'm afraid of bidets. I don't
Because-
want to make a mess. on my floor.
Oh,
No, they stay in.
No, but what if I like get up by accident and get, like shit water on my floor?
Well, no, you sit there for a while, let it
dries
dry,
you off.
and
No,
then
a lot of them have air.
Oh, I don't
it
have
shoots
air.
air up.
So it's blowing air up my ass?
No.
Yeah. How would you get dry?
Or around the butt.
What if you don't have time to sit there for a while?
I have plenty of time. I'm not going nowhere.
That makes shitting a chore. Like it makes like
Right.
It's a,
See, I'm with you, Antwan.
Yeah.
You and I, we on the same page here.
No.
Don't act like men don't already spend
But,
20
like-
minutes in the bathroom sitting there on their
but what
phones.
else are they doing in there?
They're on their phones.
Doing
We're trying to get some fucking peace and quiet from the women. That's what we're trying to do.
Wow, this just got.
Sorry. I'm doing my apology on this show instead of the next one.
This is an apology to her.
Yeah, usually if you guys have listened to the show, I'm not expecting that you that you have, and you won't at this point. But I actually do a apology usually every show because I've done something in the previous show that was something I needed to apologize for.
Right.
So
I saw the submissive one on the last one.
yes.
I was,
oh yeah.
I was laughing.
You like that
he
one?
was calling the submersible the submissive.
I said it sounded so much cooler than submarine, which it still does. But
I mean, and it
He's right.
kind of is
it's
submissive.
to the ocean now.
thank you.
It's
See,
submitted.
Antoine, you know what? We need a third person on
The
this
ocean
show.
is a dom.
Yeah.
Hello.
And it crushed that. Oh, that is
it
actually,
didn't fuck
I'm
around, did it?
sorry, because those families are actually so sad now.
No.
Yeah.
You-
I'm sorry. That's not fun.
What? No, it's like 5 people. Don't worry about it.
so sad.
It is. No, it
No,
is.
it
It
is
is.
so
It
sad.
is. Well, it's actually 4 families because one of them was a father-son. So
Yeah.
even less.
Yeah, imagine
But
being
it
that
does, it
woman.
sucks.
Your husband and child died.
And your child, did you hear this? Antoine didn't want to go. He was scared. He was just petrified to go.
Yeah.
And he went because it was like Father's Day or something.
Happy Father's Day. We're both gonna die now.
Man, that sucks. Can white men dance, Antoine? Or Meg? Meg, you can answer.
Some of them can.
Some of them can.
See, that's what I said.
Some white man can jump.
Oh, okay.
Jump. We're talking about dancing.
See, Trey
What
gets
kind of
very,
dancing are we
very
talking
serious. I'll admit, I was hoping you would say no because Trey gets fired up because
Yes,
he thinks he
that's
can
bullshit.
dance.
Well, you're not. I mean, okay, like I don't. Okay,
kind
so
of dancing?
here's
Can
the-
all black men dance?
No, not. I mean, I think that's a stereotype. Like,
There you go.
I have rhythm. I can move.
Meg, get in there if you. She's ready to fire.
Meg
Go,
has
go.
opinions.
I like depends on the kind of dancing.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was twerking back in the clubs before Miley Cyrus was even born.
Do you
so
have an ass to throw around though?
No.
I used to.
Oh.
Anyways, what's
Sweat.
the next topic?
Yeah. Thank you for getting us back on track, Meg. Yeah, I haven't even gotten through this. That was 3 icebreaker questions we have.
Yeah.
You might have to cut all of those out.
In this one, Antoine, you can tell me if you want me to cut this. So I'll start now. Is fried chicken racist?
So fried chicken itself isn't racist, but assuming that all black people enjoy
Okay,
fried chicken
right.
is racist.
So if you came over tonight and I said I'm going to get us some KFC, you would assume that was racist.
I would first go, okay. In my mind, I'd go, does he just enjoy fried chicken that much, or is he
fair
trying
enough.
to be like? Is he trying to be accommodating to a black person
Right.
in his house? But that, and I would, I wouldn't know, so I wouldn't be able to speak on it. But I would talk to Meg about it.
I was about to say, would you pull Meg aside and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this guy. Well, but see, that's the thing is that I would have, knowing me, myself, I would have the best intentions. I would just be I would just be an idiot because I would be unaware. But you're telling me that it just depends on context.
Yeah, like if you're like, oh, Antwan, you must like fried chicken because you're black. I'm gonna go, actually, no.
Yeah. Or do you like fried chicken? Maybe we should start there.
I mean, actually,
You do. You like.
yeah, okay. Who like? Oops, language. Sorry.
Don't worry about the
Doesn't
language
like
on this
fried
show.
chicken,
I
right?
love
but
fried
I
chicken.
don't like to eat it maybe once a year because it's kind of like unhealthy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
Yep, I
Trey and
agree
I
with
only eat once a year too.
I feel like you're lying to me. You had it for lunch last Tuesday, didn't you? Don't lie to me.
Do you, I think I want to now, though. I mean, we
Honestly, I'm
order.
trying to remember the last time I had fried chicken.
If you're sitting, but are you ever sitting somewhere though, and like if you're eating a fried chicken, do you feel like people are looking and going, "Yeah,
Yeah, like I tend to only eat fried chicken in the comfort
By yourself.
of my own childhood.
But is that the
home.
reason?
Yes, because I don't want people to be
See,
like, "Oh my
there you
god,
go.
he's black and he's eating fried chicken."
But that's so interesting. That's my point is that's crazy because, again, most people like anyway. That's interesting, and I say that with complete.
Also,
and a
I'm
genuine.
gonna put this in here.
Right,
On
go.
TikTok, as of recent, there are these two white men on this podcast. Mind you guys, I don't really care about race. I just think it
It's
was
not this one.
no. They made a statement that all black people eat cornstarch bricks. What the hell?
What's a cornstarch brick?
No, here's the thing.
I don't even know
People
what that
who
is.
have pica, which is like a weird, like they like eating like things that aren't food.
Oh, okay.
It spans across all races and ethnicities and
Right.
peoples. They like to eat cornstarch because it satisfies like the urge to eat like drywall or like your couch stuffing.
Yeah.
But they saw a black woman do like, oh, I guess black people are eating cornstarch.
Oh, shit.
Really? That's
and
stupid.
I'm like, that's just so upsetting to me personally and everyone else.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Swipe.
yeah, no, literally yeah.
I think this is so upsetting. Next
po-
video.
what podcast is this? Do we want to throw them under the bus? Or
I have no
do you want to
idea.
just back
Actually,
away?
you know what? Let me get my TikTok.
Oh,
I
here
didn't
we
like
go.
it though, so I
Here
don't.
we go.
I don't really
Oh,
know.
okay.
I'm about to say we can throw them masses under the bus because they give us a bad name.
That's right.
Because we happen to be two white guys too that do a
Trey and I are
podcast.
totally fly.
We just don't know how to
You're
fucking
pretty
do
fly
TikTok.
for a white guy.
Fly white guys.
We don't know how to do
Have you heard
TikTok
that song,
though.
Meg?
We don't know
what?
TikTok.
All the girls say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, now everyone's getting a show.
You know what sucks though? That song probably came out before they were born.
That's true.
So yeah.
95. When were you guys born?
I was born in
2000.
98. In 2000.
Oh,
He lied
God.
again.
Holy shit! After we graduated high school.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Embarrassing.
You're not embarrassed.
You guys,
Meg, we need
9/11
you to
happened,
speak
were like
up.
2.
Embarrassing.
There we go.
She said embarrassing.
Yeah, I did. say
Embarrassing.
Are you embarrassed?
Embarrassed. I'm
see,
not.
that's
I don't.
more of that.
I don't embarrass air easily. So
That's
I'm
Gen
good.
Z code language right there.
Yeah.
That just seems embarrassing.
That's just a general.
No,
way to
but for
pronounce
us, we didn't get that. I was
yeah.
like, embarrassed.
Embarrassed? What the fuck?
it. A lot of Gen Z language is vines and old YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But like, so we wouldn't say, oh, there's 5,000 ways to skin a cat, or oh, you really screwed the pooch on that one. Like,
Which is so weird.
like who is aside from
completely
that
understand what he's
professor
saying.
at UPenn who is screwing their dog?
Oh shit. We do remember that. We
Yeah,
talked about that.
that was a good episode.
We just
What
found
would
out that
you
was
say?
Meg's dog though. So
I'm just saying, like, we wouldn't
Don't talk about
like
Brooks that way.
our slang is like, kind of deep cut. It's not that weird,
I think it's weird. Just we don't think it's weird because we're immersed in it.
but
Yeah.
we would never condone bestiality. Like
Oh,
that.
you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Well, not that Gen X did condone.
what if
bestiality.
what if it was his dog? No? Still no?
No.
The dog did not consent to that.
Oh, that makes sense. What if he gave him a treat
But what
before?
if the dog did consent? How do we know? What if the dog was like, all right?
All right.
Animals can't consent.
Yes, and also if you paid the animal in treats for sexual favors, that's
Oh, that's
prostitution,
true.
and that's very illegal.
That's
at the
illegal.
moment.
What if they
Son
were?
of a bitch.
What if it was at the UNLV, University of Las
I'm
Vegas?
taking all the dog treats back.
Meg says next topic.
Next topic. All right.
Meg does not like to talk about bestiality.
My
Gotcha.
bad.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, we need to take care of the women on the show.
Right.
They're going to be few and far between that agree to come on the show. I
May
should say.
be fewer after this one, yeah.
Who, Antwan? I'm sorry to ask you all these questions, Meg. I would love your opinion too. Trey and I each have man crushes. Well, now it might be Antwan, right?
If you say Ryan Reynolds,
No,
No.
But it's
no,
so true.
no. I want you to pick between. Oh, is that your boy?
no.
Oh,
that's
that's
the
is
thing.
that yours, Meg?
That's how you know a man
Yeah.
is straight if he says that his man crush
Yeah.
is Ryan Reynolds.
No, ours are different.
Wait a minute.
Ours are complete. You have two.
Now I'm scared to say mine.
No, don't be afraid. I'm not
No,
gonna
no.
do it.
I think it looks kind of like
Freddie
the
Mercury?
doctor.
No.
Oh.
No, Freddie Mercury.
So one's The Rock
Okay, no, yeah,
yeah.
Trey
and Jason Statham.
Well, he likes both of those. Those are his boys. Mine's Alexander Skarsgård.
Who's that?
Did you ever watch True Blood?
Oh, the guy.
He's the blonde, tall
Yeah.
Swedish vampire.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
yeah.
my guy.
Okay.
I'm all. That's my guy. Trey, don't even think about it.
So would Meg have a woman crush then?
Yeah, no, but Meg, which of those guys?
That's homosocial.
Which
Homosocial.
Yes.
Holy shit.
we're going to ask you what homosocial is,
Okay.
but first, more importantly, which one would you bang? Alexander Skarsgård or The Rock or Statham
Bang is such an old term.
or Ryan Reynolds? Yeah, we are old.
What?
What would
was
you
the
say?
question again?
What would you say for bang?
What's
Which
my
one would you
man-
have coitus
What's my
with?
man crush?
No, hold on. What would a Gen Z say for bang?
I'll give Antwan. the
Coitus?
Antwan.
No. So,
question.
railed.
Silent generation.
Railed. All right.
We say that too. We've
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, we don't want to use like. I mean,
You just say, let's have sex. Let's do it. Look, I sound
Hook
old.
up.
Say hook up.
Yeah,
Hook up.
Okay, hook
But
up.
some
But that
people
could
mean
mean
like
a lot of
hook up
things.
and like they just like made out or hook up, like they went
Yeah.
all the way.
But nobody
Right.
needs to know.
Yeah, that's none of your business.
Everything but.
So which one would you
Anonymity.
hook up, rail, whatever the fuck?
Which one is my man crush?
There you go.
What were the options again?
Okay.
The Rock?
Sounds like none of them.
Yeah,
The Rock, Jason Statham. The Rock.
No.
You and The Rock. Jason Statham, Alexander Skarsgård, who, did you hear I said that? Alexander Skarsgård.
You have to choose.
And then
You can't present
you can
yours
talk
better
about
than mine.
Reynolds. You can talk about Reynolds.
Ryan
Maybe
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds because he's the best husband ever.
Yeah.
Well,
That's dumb.
I would take Blake Lively. I mean,
No, but have you seen how funny they are on social media?
Yeah, they seem to be.
They are
having a
so
good
funny.
time.
they're
each
happy.
other.
He's
I love
funny.
Everybody's
He's
funny on social media,
So
though.
who are
No,
your?
no, but they like post each other, and it's like they make fun of each other for their anniversary. But it's like
Yeah.
very much they make the internet
throw
part of
up
the joke.
yeah, I need
Like
to
when she
throw
drew
up
her shoes on
emotion.
in that Instagram post, that was funny.
When you what?
One time, Blake Lively drew her shoes on in an Instagram post, and he called her out for it.
She posted one, and she was like, "Happy birthday, babe," or something, and it was like she cut Ryan Reynolds in half, like she cropped him out, and it was like one of his co-stars. I can't remember who it was.
Next question.
Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid to promote Ryan Reynolds? And I'm just kidding.
How'd you find out? Oh my God, sponsorship! I'm joking.
No, I haven't seen that with the shoes.
I haven't either. I think he made that up actually.
I really didn't make it.
Well, we
funny
haven't-
to me.
Do you have a celebrity crush, Antoine?
My all-time celebrity. I can't English. My all-time celebrity crush is Justin James Watt,
Justin James
yeah.
Watt.
Who's that
JJ
guy?
Watts.
Oh,
number 99.
wait.
Oh, okay.
JJ or
JJ
JJ.
Watt? No,
His
okay.
full
What about
name
his
is
brother?
Justin James.
What about TJ? I'm a Steeler fan, so I like TJ.
Only JJ.
Oh,
Only JJ.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's cool. I like JJ.
That's a good dude.
Now, is it the same thing if we looked at you and said, "Do you have a woman crush?"
Yeah. So I would say
Well, besides Meg,
Megan the Stallion.
right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Meg, you mentioned something a minute ago called homosocial.
Yes.
Can you explain that to us, please?
Yes. I learned
Because
it in my.
I had to take a step back and go, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. I learned it in my class on femininity, I think it was. I can't remember the name of the class.
Trey was enrolled in that class, but he
It's
dropped it.
actually, I learned so much from that class, I didn't expect it. And it was,
Wait a minute. You learned in a femininity class.
I think it was like,
Femininity?
I think it was like,
Spell that, Trey.
I can't
No.
remember the name of the class, but it had something to do with like
How many guys are in this
gender.
class?
Actually, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good move to get in there with all the girls.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Get them all
and
sensitive
then,
and shit.
it backfired because
And then
now they're
rail.
like all the guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry,
Yeah, they
Meg.
did
Go
really
ahead.
talk-
Go ahead, Meg.
Homosocial is like, it was about like the 1800s. So, little history lesson. We've actually become more of like a,
We, as in the United States.
as the world, have
world.
become more homophobic in the 1900s. Somebody can fact check this, but I'm like 99.9% sure it's right because we did like a whole study on this. But it was way more accepted back in like the 1800s for women to hang out with a lot of women because men, when they went on trips, men would go on trips that take so much longer to go
Oh, yeah,
places.
right.
Or men would go into these male-only places like their cigar lounges or whatever. They would do a lot
Or
of things. with
war.
Just, yeah.
Bathhouse.
That too. No, but it was a lot of. It was very like separate by sex, and so women would also write like notes to each other, letters. And if you look back and read those letters, and you read them in like the lenses of today, and what we would be like, this is a lesbian couple, but
Oh, right.
it's actually just like normal. They just had these emotions and they felt them towards their friends, but they weren't. I mean, who's to say they could have been in a relationship and had a husband? But a lot of like historians are saying that it's just homosocial is way more accepted to like.
Was it because they needed they needed something they weren't getting elsewhere, like
Who's to
emotionally?
say? I mean, probably that's it fuels.
Trey,
stuff
should
somewhere.
we start writing these letters to each other?
I think so.
Okay.
I'll write you a letter.
All right. And it doesn't necessarily mean that anything's going to happen there. It's just something.
No, and a lot of times I don't think anything did happen.
Well, when did things then start changing then?
I think
or I should say why?
Because if we talk about like, not to get into all of this, but we talk about like people say transgender has like become a thing now. It's always been around in like England. I think it was like the 1500s. There's something called female husbands. And there's a bunch of lesbian couples, but one would cross-dress as a man. And a lot of times society didn't know.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, they're called female husbands.
I've seen women like that. Yeah.
So a lot of these things aren't new. I think we've just kind of like backtracked so that they seem like they're new to us. And they might be new to us, but they've happened in society for years and years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I didn't know that.
Everybody
I wonder if it was like,
husbands.
if it was very...
it wasn't accepted. It wasn't.
But it was known, and then it went away, and then all of a sudden now. So this is the first time that people are trying to accept it, is what you're saying.
Yes. I mean, obviously, culturally, it's going to change. And I would encourage everybody to do their own research on it. I'm obviously not like an expert, but from what we
we don't care about facts and stuff like that or accuracy.
We should do that on every show.
Yeah.
You know what? We encourage you to go and look yourself.
Do your own research because we're going to talk about it the way we want.
Side. I'm like, just in case.
I love it. No,
I
that's
can't
good.
be held accountable for anything I say.
No, not at all.
Just because you said 1500s or something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean.
That's factually accurate.
Etc.
No, we know what you meant. And that's interesting because... Yeah, I mean, it is. And you know, all of a sudden something takes until now to be accepted, even though it's been around. I mean, look, you know, being gay was, I mean, you see history shows about that. And then people in high authority were having affairs with same sex.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you're going, well, then it became a big issue. And in the 80s and no one.
Yeah. I think what happened, I'm not saying it was accepted then, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot more like people were not as much in everyone else's business. Like they were like...
That's it.
So homosocial should be... honestly, homosocial is a lot more accepted in our society for women than it is for men.
Well, sure. Sure.
Because if you're like... Women can hang out, they can go to the bathroom all together, they can do all this. But if there's too many men somewhere, they're like, that's a circle jerk.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Trey and I, we get called that all the time. We say, people say, why are you guys going to the bathroom together?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Emotional support.
Yeah.
So, history lesson over.
Yeah, with the guy, I mean, I still get people that come up and they're like, hey, dude, love you, bro. No homo. Like,
yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Nobody said anything about it. So, like, why would you?
Yeah.
Just to cover my bases. Need everybody to know I am not gay.
Yeah, and that's the way it was for so long. And I think you're right. You're absolutely right. As soon as TV and film were the first, like 40s, 50s, 60s going, you know, again, like Meg, you go look at it for yourself. And then, of course, internet and all that and social media has made these things under the spotlight, right? And back in the 1700s, 1600s, whatever, there's no way you could hide it.
It's like, yeah.
But it was there.
Yes, of course. These aren't like, that's why when people are like, oh, kids are deciding to be gay. Like, no, we're just in the same way that there's more mental illness now. No, we're just labeling it. We're putting a name on things. Yeah. It's always existed. This is human nature.
Well, we did a bit about, because did you know, I didn't mean to look your way, Antwan, but did you know that one of the top 10 debate questions right now in the world is being gay a learned trait, or were you born with it? And I'm just going, how are we? And we're trying to talk about how are we possibly talking about this now? Is it still a top 10 debate point? And so the obvious answer, I mean, Trey and I were kind of, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I can't imagine that it's that either answer is really that bad, but what do you think? I mean, should we go old school and talk about that question? Or
I mean, what do I know? But from my own personal experience, I feel like the answer is no. Because why would you willingly choose to like a man? Like, just being completely honest.
Yeah, we're gross, aren't we?
No, because men are actually like so gross.
Yeah,
and,
we're
like,
gross.
Disgusting.
Except for Trey, he shaves his legs. Did you know that?
Well, and I think, and I'm sure, Antwan, you know, being a gay man is not the easiest thing to go through in this time, right?
It's really not. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a joke, but
not any.
Well, I'm just saying, why would somebody, why would somebody choose that when there's so much hate, going on? So it's like, why would I? Let's choose it so I can be hate on, get that hate. So
is that what you're kind of saying? Like, why would anybody just randomly?
I feel like it's like, I mean,
can we ask when you kind of knew?
When I don't know, I think I was like very young. I remember like being, I think either in like first grade or maybe kindergarten.
Oh goodness!
And there was like, I had this friend, and I was like, I don't like it when you hang out with other people. Yeah. Anyway,
that's great. You're like beating the shit out of this guy, this girl. Stay away from him.
I had a person who's mine. No, no, but I've never like English from like a very young age. But no, it's just like, it's weird though, because I was like, I knew, but I was like, I should tell absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Really like knew.
Did you ever have a girlfriend just to?
No,
this is the norm. So, or quote unquote the norm per America.
It's a good question, Trey. Good question.
Let me date a girl.
You never tried to just kind of hide it?
I'd rather die.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't like vagina.
Not at all. Well, I'm gracious for the life that's brought me, quite literally. But like,
sure,
respect.
Sure. That's true.
Respect.
Good point. But
they
always have that card on us, don't they?
Not into women like that. So sorry to anyone who was wondering.
Fair enough. Yeah. We had some people going, "Hey, can we have a chance with this guy? Maybe turn him." Nope.
People think we're dating all the time.
I bet,
because we have this one picture.
We have a picture on my Instagram, and I went home.
We need to post that on our
It's a good picture of us.
But
my friends are like, your boyfriend, and I was like, who? And they were like, black kid.
The black kid. Is that how people? Is it really?
Yeah.
You and that black kid.
Okay, here's the thing. I think your generation thinks saying like black people
is a bad word.
Is rude. Like black is.
We're on edge because we don't know. That's the point.
Yeah. So oops. Okay.
No, you're okay.
Here's
hit that mic, Antwan.
He's about to mic drop everyone.
Is this thing on anyway?
Do it, Mike.
Here's the thing. So saying blacks is not a good thing, because that has never been followed by anything positive.
Okay.
But saying black people, no problem. Saying, oh my God, he's black, it's just, that's good too. Like, black isn't a bad word.
What is all this African American versus black?
So I personally,
Meg just got excited.
Like, I asked
Gen
the exact same
X,
question.
So the older generations, that's African American, to be respectful, but to me it's kind of annoying. I'm like, just say black, it's not a bad word. Like,
because you're American, you're not African. You're American.
I've never been to Africa. Like,
you've never. Well, Trey and I are about to go
on a safari. Right?
On a safari. Yeah. Do you want to go?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
I just am not. I don't do. I like, nature and me are not good friends.
Well, us neither. But we're gonna see what happens.
Right.
I'm adventurous, but not. I'm not there yet. But maybe one day.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Okay. So African Americans out.
That is so.
That's older. Year. That's last year. And if I said. I've got a great buddy of mine, and again, I know that it's kind of funny because you go, oh, black. You said you have a black friend. But if I literally was like, I got my great buddy, not that why would I preface it that? But if there was some reason it came up, I would just
if
refer
it made sense to say, oh, you can just say,
Antwan's
I have a
black
friend
man.
who's black.
He's a black man.
Yeah, but if it like makes sense for the situation,
right?
Or if it's
Context.
Kind of, context.
Right. But if that was the case, black is okay, except saying the blacks.
You can't say that.
You can't. Oh, okay, that's good.
Oh no. Okay, it's not like a slur, but you can't just. But you like in conversation, you can't just say. Like,
oh yeah, all the blacks. Yeah. Okay.
It's rude.
Yeah.
Is there a manual?
Well,
please.
It's just like it sounds like common sense to us, but we grew up.
Trey says that all the time.
If you think about it, you have never heard anything positive come after the blacks.
Mm-hmm. It's usually somebody saying something racist. Like
that's the way that we should look at everything.
If
is
you're
anything positive
like
come after that? Mm-hmm. Now I have a question, and I know somebody very near and dear to our hearts that will like that I'm asking you this because he was with me when this happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is this the
golf cart?
Yeah, this is.
So I have a. Yeah, I'm going to ask you this.
Purposely run a black man over in your golf?
No.
Well,
not purposely.
No, that was fine.
On accident?
that was okay.
Okay.
No problem. No. Okay. So let me try and make this. I can't ever make anything quick, ever. But
nope.
So we're there, and there was a group of 4 black men, and then we were two of us in the middle, and then there was a group behind us. And they had just gotten the tea times, and that's all they had.
Oreo?
And they do what?
Did they call you an Oreo?
No.
This is on me.
This is the dumb shit he said.
So we were in between. So when we pulled up there, they said, why don't you guys, it was perfect because we were also only two of us and we could go, further in front, and they wanted to play right behind each other. And so they said, why don't you guys go and then we'll meet up with our friends back there. And Antwan, you may not believe me, but as we drove by and we teed off, good shot. I had a good shot down the middle, Trey. About 260 probably.
Hey, go ahead. Just keep going.
And as we drove by, as I would say to anybody, like, hey, thanks. For some reason, I don't know if I was subconsciously trying to whatever.
Scared.
They thanks, dog.
No. It wasn't like that. No. But see, okay.
No, I'm scared.
Remember what we just talked about, Antwan. Context is important, right? So I looked by and I was like, hey, thanks, boys.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Hey, like I would say to anybody, or thanks, fellas, or thanks, guys. And the guy that I'm talking about is probably going to go, that way. You said it differently.
Well, actually,
I didn't.
I agreed with him.
So what?
It really was, because apparently if you call a group of black men boys, that's what they were called.
Well,
back
if you
in the
say
day.
it in that accent, we're like, hey, boys.
It's like, you listen here, boy.
Yeah.
Meg, thank you. That's what I said, but he made me feel like a piece of shit for 5 holes. And I kept saying, should I go back? Should I go tell him? Like,
You found someone with 5 holes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I need 5. What? Why? I can only think of 1, 2.
There's 27.
Maybe 5. 20. They're really. Are you? Meg's pointing.
Oh, damn.
Meg's pointing to every
Your eyes are
orifice in her.
No, but like, okay, I feel
all
like
this part out right
no,
here.
yeah, it's like, oh, you just call everyone's
I
like
really didn't mean it.
no,
that way,
and I don't
you
think
know.
anyone else thought that either.
All right.
But like in like certain very like niche situations, if you have like an older Southern white man who gets kind of angry and he's like, "No, you listen here, boy," and he happens to be talking to like a black person,
Of
like,
course. Right.
Did the slavery just jump out? Like.
Of course.
Well, let me throw this in there too,
Oh,
just
God.
because. So when I was growing up playing basketball with friends and stuff like that, hanging out with black guys.
Why are you talking about basketball? Huh?
So when shit, which one was it? Was it OJ? I think when OJ
You're gonna have to be more specific.
when OJ was found innocent, they were like, "Are you mad about that?" I'm like,
Oh.
it's like, why would I be mad about that? I don't give a shit, But because I was white,
I'm
just
only
threw
mad
that
if he
out.
actually stabbed his wife.
But actually, one of the guys actually would call me the devil because I had blonde hair and blue eyes. So he always referenced to me as the devil. Oh wow! So that's the kind of stuff I grew up around.
You're saying
so it's like
you
I'm very
experienced
careful.
a little what they call reverse.
So
Well,
he was the
think it's
minority in the situation,
Right.
Yeah.
So
And I think the term reverse racism is
That's
silly.
just racism.
It's silly, right?
Racism is discrimination based on race.
It's so refreshing to hear. I almost called
Don't
you
call me a
millennials.
millennial ever again.
Gen Zs say that because I'm the same. I'm with you. I just think it's all. It's either racism or it's not.
yeah.
I think generations are like pendulums. That's what I think. I think one generation has problems and
Elaborate,
the other
please.
overcompensates.
Right.
So maybe political correctness wasn't so great before, but millennials overcompensate, and then Gen Z's coming back. But our problem is that we have very, very dark humor that some people.
Let me jump in on that.
We do too.
Some
but-
people have dark humor. Some people are just actually racist and homophobic.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
So there
you go.
What's
Yeah.
happening though is like millennials were very PC, and that's where you see like a lot of like the snowflake
Right.
and that stuff. And so it'll be interesting to see like what the
Yeah.
I've been known to call people snowflake. How about you, Trey?
I'm
I
curious
did
to
it the
know.
other day.
what Gen Alpha will
People
look
other
like when
than
they come.
Gen-
Like what
Yeah.
theirs will they overcompensate for something weird?
So you're saying Gen Alpha is the next?
Yes, 2012 and on. I believe
Mm-hmm.
it's Gen Alpha.
So I'm curious to know. With all the interracial relationships, how far do you think down the road that we won't
I love
have
this
any
question. So I was
any
listening
different races?
Take
Because
it
every
easy over there, Meg.
It's
Theo
happening
Vaughn.
real quick.
Yeah, I was listening to Theo Vaughn, and he was going into like how the boundaries of like we're expanding our names for things. So like how gender is a social construct, and we're expanding what is defined by gender, things like that. Like I think in the next 100 years, things are going to be a lot more blurred, and that there's going to be like no specific differences. Obviously, I don't think you can get that far in 100 years, but like I think there's going to be
maybe like 1,000 years.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot
or
less
more.
of like identifiable races in America.
Well, yeah, that's the. I mean, I've heard this a lot. Where everybody's going to be kind of the same tone, if you will. Like,
so that's the whole point of America. Was
that's
like
the goal.
It was the melting pot.
You think that's the interesting. You
America's
think the
melting
goal
pot.
secretly was like, all right, let's just get everybody in this area, and we're just gonna fuck until we until we.
I don't know if that was the goal. That's my goal.
But America's the melting
That's my agenda.
Look,
After my second marriage, that was my agenda too.
We're on a mission right now. We are gonna,
Well, I think
that's
it would end
interesting.
a lot of problems we have. I mean,
True.
the thing is, those problems are.
And they'd all be beautiful too. You know that, right?
But
I'm
think-
sorry, Meg. I keep cutting you
No,
off.
you're good. I think we'll see a lot of like more acceptance as like the different everything. Every generation, things become so much farther back in the past. So like, baby boomers, things like more than one gender is like unfathomable for our age group. It's like you might not agree with it, but it's still like in your understanding. And as we grow, like all of these things are, I think, going to become way more open, so that by the time like 500 years from now, I don't think these things will even be questions. I think people will be so like intermixed into different
race
races.
is one thing. Go
But
ahead.
I think we'll be so mixed. I think it'll be hard to tell.
Even gender.
I think this like the spectrum of gender, because whether you agree with it or not, gender is a social construct. That's
Okay, so you're talking gender versus sex. Go ahead.
yes, that is.
Okay.
There are
Take it easy, Gen X.
There
Take
are
it easy.
arguably two sexes.
I mean, Gen Z. I'm
and
sorry.
then there's like intersex and such. But
Trey and I, we're very scientific.
but
So we
gender
go-
is a
I don't know what she's talking about right now.
we go with the you have a penis or a vagina thing.
But then you leave out intersex people.
Right, and in all fairness, we agree with that, and
Yeah.
we are open to discuss it.
Yes.
But I'm not going to lie, we want to simplify with penis or vagina,
which is generally what people
right? And that's what most
do.
people do.
But and I had this argument on Instagram with somebody.
But talk
the other
about
day.
inner. Talk about inner. Go ahead.
Intersex?
Intersex, yes.
Yeah, so intersex,
Do you have any percentages, or should we?
I don't have percentages, and honestly getting a like scientific definition
difficult,
is
huh?
going
Yeah.
to be better than whatever I spew out of my mouth.
No, we don't want science.
Like I said, we don't care about accuracy. Just go.
Look, we don't want any of that bullshit. Just
But intersex, you can be born with like any combination of XY, XX chromosomes.
okay.
And it can look a lot of different ways. A lot of people don't know until later on in life. Sometimes people get like their parents figure it out when they're really young and get it fixed for them, and they don't even realize it till they're a lot
Are you
older.
talking about having like a vagina and some testicles?
That, or like say you're fully male on the outside, but then you have like an ovary.
Oh,
Or it could be just chromosome. You could be like XXY. Yes, you can. There's a lot of different kinds of it, but that's sex, intersex. And
Okay.
to say like my whole thing, this.
but how?
bothers me.
So you don't have any idea on the percentage of intersex?
Well,
Even if it's 1% of 8 billion is
There's
a lot of people.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that. Like, even everyone's like, it's 1%, it's less than 1%, it's 0.5%, but that's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a ton of people.
Yeah, and they do that a lot for trans, and
like
it's
the
only
total.
this much, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
They
But
do that for everything, but that's not how we make laws. We make laws. Laws get fixed based on the exceptions. That's how we change
This
based
is
on
why
things
she
that
got
happen.
into a top law.
So let me ask you this. So let's say, for instance, a person with a penis but also has an ovary.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the feelings like something's off
So
mentally?
that's how they figure it out sometimes is it's like, why is my body producing like different, because they might have estrogen from this ovary, but they're presenting outwardly like a male.
Right.
And so
Will they cry a little more? Just kidding. That was totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. Go ahead.
that was my answer.
Okay.
You would usually
So you feel a
But
little
like
bit.
mentally, do they feel like maybe female tendencies or anything to that effect, or does it
That's
not go
kind
that
of what
deep?
I meant in a very bad
Is it
way.
Is it more just physical stuff?
I think it would probably depend person to person because it is so unique to their experiences, because everybody has different combinations of that if you're
Gotcha.
intersex. I also think there's not like they're still really figuring out like what intersex truly means per person, but I I'm sure it has some emotional, because I mean, women are just so different. We're finding different ways. Like they have different sleep patterns and energy levels and things like that. So I'm sure having extra estrogen in your body makes a big difference in how you feel.
Well, of course. And the same the other way. If there's extra testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, I say it all. I feel like, Trey, every show I say something about our name, the name of the show. Stay in the gray, because it's not as simple as you have a penis or a vagina. I mean, right?
Nothing is ever as simple. And that's why law is, it depends.
Yeah, I'm really trying to work on opening my mind a little bit to this topic, because to me, I want it to be simple. I mean, I think so many people just want it to be like science. You guys are so into science. Well, penis, vagina.
It's not.
It's not. And that leads me to my next question, kind of. And I'm just going to kind of push us along because of a time issue. And it kind of fits. And Antwan, I'm going to ask you this. How do you feel when it comes to, we're talking about trans and things like this? You're included with, not you, I'm sorry, being gay.
Individually.
Only you, Antwan.
Transgender people and Antwan.
Yeah, right. People who are gay are now included with transgender in this whole pride and LBG.
LBJ, love him.
What is it? LB? What did I get it wrong already?
It's just funny the way you said it.
Third letter.
Well, LGBTQIA plus.
Look at you, and I need to get better.
But some people don't say all of that.
I need to get better. I say LBG and then I stop, because you know why? Because I don't want to fuck it up. I don't say the wrong letter and be like,
Apparently, if you just say LBG, you fucked it up.
Well, I did, apparently.
OBGYN.
OBG.
There you go.
But I mean, do you see what I'm saying, though? Like, they're completely different things, in my opinion, obviously. But you're included in the same thing. How do you feel?
My take on that.
How do you feel? I want to hear this.
So I had the same kind of thought, because I was like, if I felt that I was born in the wrong body, and I was like, I think that God wanted me to be a woman instead, and I transitioned, I would not want to be called a trans woman. I don't want to be called a woman, right? But I'm not trans, nor will I ever be trans. At least I don't think. And like, I mean, you never know what's going to happen later in life.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like, I don't know. But like, and so I don't know their experience. I don't know what they've been through, what they're going through right now. And so I don't know what is going on with them mentally and like how they actually feel about it, because like I'm not that person. And I feel like it's like I don't understand, but I do respect your hustle, and so I
like
respect
that,
what you're
hustle.
going through. But to my point of, I didn't think that, because I thought that grouping the T and with the LGBT,
right,
kind of made it seem more of like, kind of like a sexuality, or more of like kind of like something that wasn't just like you switched like sexes,
right.
But I guess I don't know. I still don't know why we're all grouped together, but what I could guess is that maybe they need the support. I mean, if it was just transgender people by themselves, they'd be kind of fucked, because I don't know.
Well, and I can throw
things are better in teams. So maybe they just needed more people for support.
I
don't know.
If I threw percentage, you're right. If I threw percentages out, the trans are very, very. And again, Meg made a point. Be careful, because there's a lot of people in the world, and if you say 0.06, it's still a decent amount of people.
It's still at least one person too. It's like, do you care about?
Well,
people.
But maybe not. No, I'm joking. I totally
and there are a lot of people that don't.
But there are. I think right now it's at 7 something that are admitting their LBGT. God damn it. TQR.
QI.
Niner.
Except I actually don't know if that's the correct term anymore.
Okay. Well,
what?
Did it change since the show started?
Yeah, it might have.
I mean, everybody knows what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is all the letters and
pride community,
and so the pride community, and I think it's 7 point something, and that's great, because 20 years ago I think it was only 3.5, and so people are starting to come out.
But that's still 560 million people.
Wow, that's. I'm glad you pulled that up. Look at you,
Part of the pride community, or just the trans?
Like, I guess like
that's the overall
population. Yeah.
But LG of the whole, all the, not just trans.
Wait,
of all LGBTQ.
So when you said 7%, what did you mean?
I was sorry. I was saying all of the letters.
That's
the whole pride
500
community.
million people that are out.
Wow.
I mean, if you're saying 7,000 that are out.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot. Okay, I'm going to just be honest.
That puts things in perspective
I
right
went
there.
to, a school. I met a lot of people.
A school.
There are like a lot of, I'm going to just, from my experience, like men I feel like that are like bisexual maybe, who are just going to be straight because it's easier.
They're still not kind of, there's something holding them back.
Yeah, they're fighting demons, but they're demons at their
I'll tell you, Antwan, I went to an all-guy Catholic high school, but when I was there in the, I hate to say it, the mid-90s. Oh, I know. You guys were just being born. You guys weren't even
born.
Yeah, you weren't even a little tadpole yet.
I was like 10 years unthought of.
Thank
God damn.
I know, right? I'm going to live vicariously through Antwan. but this high school I went to, I mean, I think there was maybe one dude that said, you know what, or he got out or something, out of 800 students. And that's bullshit.
And didn't that seem a bit sus to you?
That's bullshit. But at the time we were like, all right, we didn't even, who cares? We're 16 and we don't give a fuck. Yeah. But that's, I mean, if you look at the percentages, there's got to be more.
And I think there are.
There are, but they were afraid.
Yeah, they're afraid. And I mean, honestly, I got really lucky. My family's like all super supportive.
Good.
There was like, no qualms about it, but a lot of people don't have that.
Especially back then.
Well, let me ask this. Did your father or mother have an idea? Did they? We kind of.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question, Trey.
Here's the weird thing about that. They're like, but what about those girls you liked? And I was like, I lied.
But we've heard that you do that.
Yeah, but that was more for like survival. But like, and then a couple months later, my mom was like, I remember how much you used to love Lady Gaga and Britney Spears, and I was like, and you had no idea. Like, really? Like, damn.
She knew.
So they didn't. She knew. Did they? So they didn't have an idea.
Okay, my grandma knew, and my Mimi knew. So both my grandmas knew.
Yeah.
But no one else was like, maybe just a bit, sugar plum, lip in the wrist,
Have you ever had any, what you would consider, even back in the day, like, middle school, little make-out session with a woman at all?
No.
Besides Meg.
I couldn't stand.
But like even like at a dance,
when
you
I
never
was
like
younger,
grabbed a little
this
boobie
girl
or
tried to
anything?
kiss me, and I cried afterwards.
Oh, maybe that's when you knew. You're like, why am I crying?
Not. That was so gross.
Okay, so no boobie, no anything.
No, I love women are great. Most of my friends are women.
They're a lot prettier than we
I'll
are.
lie. But I just simply cannot. I'm just not.
Okay. No, I'm always curious to see, and I won't say anything, but I've known people that came out way late. Like I'm talking
after they had
children and all that. Mm-hmm. And you go, wow, okay. So when you're going through these things, is it enjoyable? Or are you just, literally going, oh, this sucks? Like,
I'd like to say
Meg's got her hand up in the air.
Back
has some evidence to submit to
I just food for thought, and how people are like nature versus nurture. Like, are you coming out as gay because it's like a pop culture thing? Think about the amount of people that are older and coming out as gay. You don't see as many people come out as gay and then come out as straight later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That actually
say that again.
Never
are they is nurture forcing them into heterosexuality?
We are.
Did you say come out gay and then go back to
later,
straight?
just like people, like the opposite of what we know people are doing now.
So
starting straight their whole lives.
So if Antwan 5 years down the road says, you know what?
I'm
done with this.
Exactly.
I don't like penis.
Think about
I'm going to the women.
How rare that is.
That would be weird, interesting.
Exactly. So
does that ever happen?
It does, I guess. It's probably like more like go back to bisexual.
Yeah.
But when people say like, is it nature versus nurture? Like, are you coming out because it's a pop culture trend?
Yeah.
It's like, or were you born with it? I think that is an important thing to think about. Of like, did culture force people into heterosexuality rather than
right? And to your point, think about it. When you have a son, you're like, oh my God, he's going to get all the girls. He's going to be a little heartbreaker. Like, oh my God,
So
he's going to have major, like, but yeah, it's like you're kind of already putting them in that box of like, which is, I guess, is like easier to do, but that would make me uncomfy. I'm like, what if I'm ladies, like.
Yeah. No, and not to say like it could be, I don't know.
No, I mean, you never, it's like you never know.
It's food for thought about when people are like, are you just coming out because of pop culture? Yeah. Maybe it's just, maybe it's the opposite
do you think
way.
there are people that come out just because of pop culture?
I don't know why anyone would put
right
through that.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
Did you, and I mean, I kind of know the answer, and so I'll move on, but you guys, I don't think you heard the show we did, and I talked about a gentleman, and I'm going to really try and make this fast. It's very difficult for me as a storyteller, but when I lived in Chicago, I had a trainer, a gay gentleman, and he was half Egyptian and half Italian. Oh, he was like a god. He was like a little like god. Like, I mean, he was.
I had beautiful skin.
He's one of my favorite people, and I've told him that, and he listened to this segment we did on and it was what I told you earlier about the question: are you born with it, or are you?
Yeah.
And I asked him. I said, "Will you listen to this? And I want to know your opinion, because you were one of the most. I mean, he really is one of those guys you just don't. I will never lose touch. He's just a great dude." And so I asked him. I said, "Hey." One night I said, what is it like? We kind of had a couple of drinks, and we were like, all right, well, let me ask him some questions, similar to what we're doing here. I said, well, what is it like? I mean, is it, whatever. He looked at me and he said, I don't, and he was older than you, Antwan. He was probably, he's our age, I think. Yeah. So old. Old.
Geriatric.
Yeah, his back hurts right now. He's probably, but he actually got he was a top trainer and oh no, well, I don't know about that part.
Brian's just a little slow with his delivery.
Antwan's thinking about, all right, yeah. But he looked at me and he said, I don't really wish this on anyone at this point, and that to me changed my whole. I mean, I've never been a guy that's been against it, obviously, but I've never been a guy that's really sat back and realized how tough it was.
Yeah.
I just said, not deal with it, but like, okay, everything's getting better, and just we're fine. Yeah. And that hit me hard. Mm-hmm. And so that's what brought, when I heard you say that brought it up. It's just this whole idea of who do you tell, when do you tell, how do you tell? I mean, it's just a mess. So I respect you, and that's why I ask you all these questions. So
I lie. So long story short, maybe they're born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Exactly.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe. How do y'all even know that? Is that still around?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Look at you.
I wore Maybelline mascara in middle school.
Not the brand. That's just the commercial.
Yeah.
People assume that because we're like born
we haven't seen anything after 2000.
It's like we still had VHS tapes and
no,
DVD.
You didn't.
We have parents.
I had so many VHS
you had
tapes.
VHS?
I sure did.
Antwan, don't lie.
I'm not lying right now.
You lie.
I had
not right now.
What about cassette tapes?
Tiny
the VHS player.
What about cassette
Trey,
tapes?
Yeah, they didn't have cassette
Back in the day, I had TVs that had
They're
giant
ignoring
boxes
you,
on the
Trey.
back. Wait, what'd you say? Sorry.
Cassette tapes.
I never had that.
I had
CDs.
cassette tapes.
We had
I had
CDs?
CDs. My sister and
CDs was like early 90s.
my sister and I had to listen to them on the way to middle school and high school. We listened to CDs. We burned
Heaven
CDs.
forbid. You only listen to one band at a time.
Skrillex.
I've touched a Walkman before.
You touched away?
A
A
Walkman.
Walkman. Yeah, I had one of those. I had the Discman.
Discman, yeah.
Remember Discman? Remember when they came out and,
Yeah.
and the first batch was like you couldn't do anything without skipping. You're
Yeah.
like, well, this is pointless. This is bullshit.
What about our internet back in the day?
They finally, Do you remember what did you ever hear what a dial-up sound?
See, I never had dial-up, but I know what the sound is. It's like the
Oh,
there you go.
Who did that? You did?
Me,
that was pretty good. But anyway, that sound gives me nightmares because you never knew if you were going to connect.
Yeah. You start downloading a song, go to school, you come back, there's still 3 days left to download. Yeah.
Oh my God. The trenches.
Exactly.
Look at you guys. Yeah. Anyway, but let's get to this real fast, if you don't mind. Affirmative action, Antwan.
Really quick.
Oh, you have something, Meg.
No. I was like, let's talk about it really quickly.
Affirmative
action.
I can talk.
Affirmative action.
I think
one
you
sentence
guys.
or less.
I think you guys could. Trey and I could talk to you guys for probably like 6 hours, and you and I have talked about doing a 6-hour live show. Would you be interested?
Honest to God,
you would do it.
Hit me up.
Antwan would be game.
Antwan,
yeah,
you're my man. All
if
right.
it was on a date that I had nothing else to do, so I need to check my calendar.
Okay.
So we're secondary. Well, that's fine. I'll take it.
Well, it might even be third or fourth.
I'll take it.
I mean, I have
Did you hear?
appointment.
Nothing else to do. I have nothing else to do.
No, because it's like 6 hours. I'm a busy man.
I got you.
Yeah.
By busy man, he needs time to decompress
That's
on
right.
his couch, rotting away.
Right.
Hey,
As we all do.
that's yeah.
It's called a rot day.
Hell yeah.
Do you have some shows that you watch right now?
Right now, okay, so 3 shows would be Sex in the City. I'm almost done.
Oh,
That first.
that's our generation, dude.
Yeah. I had to go back to the Carrie Bradshaw and
Oh, right.
all them. Yeah. And then another show is called Mythic Quest on Apple TV. I love Apple TV. That show's actually so good. It's so funny.
Apple, if you'd like to sponsor us,
Please do. I want a free MacBook.
there we go.
And then a third show.
I
just finished Ted Lasso. And
That's so
my
funny.
God.
What is it called?
Ted Lasso.
Oh, Ted Lasso. It's great. It's
And
fantastic.
I almost cried. That
Trey, have
show
you
is
started
so
it yet?
No, I haven't started
Trey
it
hasn't
yet.
started it yet. I don't know who he's watching over there.
I force Antwan to watch some things sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. That whenever you have a little break in your binge TV, why don't we do a big? I wonder what our listeners 6 hours. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine. I'd be asleep during half of it.
Well, or I'll order you guys food. Take it easy over there. But anyway, so affirmative action.
Affirmative.
So as we all know, the other day the Supreme Court ruled North Carolina, University of North Carolina, and Harvard actually had some programs, and you guys heard us talking about it on the last show. And I have mixed. I'll admit it to you, Antwan and Meg. I have mixed feelings about this. So I want to hear. I want to turn it over to you guys and just let you roll. And I'm going to try and shut the fuck up. How about that, Trey?
That'd be
Will that
impressive.
happen? Will that happen?
That'll be impressive. Go ahead.
Well, we've been talking about it too. And we came to a conclusion that we think it'd be good to not base it off of race, but off of your income. Because typically the underlying issue is a lack of income, and you're passing up like underlooked talent because they may be capable and they may be kind of qualified to get into like these universities, but they don't have the income to maybe they can't afford the application fee. Maybe they just can't afford to go to school, So I think we think it'd be good to like kind of base it off of income.
Versus race.
Versus race, yes. Because, and let's take, I don't know, I'm going to say 3rd Ward and Houston. Let's say, I'm sure there's a sprinkle of white people in there too. So you have your poor white people and your poor black people, but they could both kind of have the academic rigor, and they could be qualified to go to a great university, but they're being underlooked because they don't have the income to actually really like even think that's a possibility.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think we got to that conclusion. I mean, the problem is that the answer is it depends. Like
it's nuanced.
Because there's always going to be people that are left out, because that's just how society ends up working out. But when you look at like why are these lower economic, like why, if you ask why to the questions of like black students aren't getting in at the same rate, why? Because most of the time those black students perhaps are coming from lower economic areas. Why? Because they were placed there. Like, why were they placed there years ago? Because of like why? And it'll travel back, but ultimately, like, it's because what we can work from now is like their economic status.
Right.
That's going to help a lot of the problems, just because you have to think, like he was saying, like those white kids that grew up in that same community. And it's all people of color.
And even how like they're saying it's adversely affecting Asian students.
It is adversely.
A lot of Asian students aren't like rolling the freaking dough.
Exactly.
Sure.
So it would help them. And that's where it ultimately comes down. Like, that's where we find the real differences are going to be, like, those upper class white students, me being one of them. Like, I had SAT tutors. I got a job for fun, for extra money. I didn't need a job to pay for my family's rent or anything like that. And so it's coming down to, like, income is a lot of...
Was it worth it? How did you do on the SAT?
I did well, but I had a tutor.
Okay, right. I wanted to make sure you didn't fuck around and like.
But it also costs money to apply to a lot of colleges, and like I could apply to a lot of law schools because I could afford the application.
That's a good point.
So if you're a student that doesn't have a lot of money,
you get like one school.
I think the SAT. I think they might pay for like 5. The government pays for like, I know at least for.
I paid for all 5 of my.
As far as
the government did not pay for that.
Are you talking about this program, or are you talking about?
No, you can apply. At least I know. I mean, it's been so like it was 5 years ago when I was applying to colleges. But law school, you can like put in you can fill out forms to show like you're in need, and they'll like cover the cost of the testing, and then they'll pay for like 4 law schools for you to apply to, things like that. But ultimately, like I do think, I mean, it makes sense that they would say it's unconstitutional, like with our laws. Like if we're just strictly looking at laws, it would make sense that they'd say race, like to include race is unconstitutional. But there's definitely ways around, because there is a need to add more diversity, and that's why I think diversity statements are so important.
Well, what you guys said was great, in my opinion, and I hate to say great because that's a blanket statement. It's me saying that. Income, economic status, because again, the point of it was, and it was all about color of skin.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, all right, I understand why it was implemented. I get it. Systemic racism is something that is very, very sensitive to a lot of people, and obviously on both sides in different ways. But there's a little bit of difference there, but it's there.
Yes.
And so you go, all right, is there a line where we're past that, now it's time to say, hey, let's move forward, and this isn't the way to do it anymore.
Yeah.
In the 80s, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, when all that happened, great. Let's implement programs. Let's motivate. Let's get going. And now, in 2023, the Supreme Court just basically said, all right, because, again, adverse reactions to Asian students and other reasons, it just seems to me like, there's got to be a little bit of a merit-based system, but at the same time, are we still at a point to where we need for a black community?
I think there's also a misconception that these people don't have merit, because these people are very still qualified. If we're going to talk about merit, then we need to look into like people that get in because they're a legacy, or student athletes. Like we're looking to put students into school not just based on their scores. They always say that it's holistic.
Right.
So in my opinion, those are other factors that bring diversity into like a student athlete is bringing diversity. Being from a different community, diversity. So qualified is so subjective, but either way, a lot of these kids are still having the same scores to get in. Right. They just might not be as well-rounded.
But should they be equal scores? Okay, let's take sports out of it. I mean, because look, as Trey and I know, look,
it's just food. Like, where's the line? If
black people will beat the shit out of us in football, basketball. Look, I'll admit it. And good for them. We suck, and guess what? That's fantastic, great. But beyond beyond scholarships, beyond athletics, when it comes to just straight up, you are going to go to the front of the line.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think there's any completely unqualified students that can't. Because why would they put them into a situation that they're going to fail?
No, but I don't think that. But these students, it doesn't matter
if they don't have the mental capacity. They don't have the grades. They're not getting in, and they won't do well. They'll fail out. It's not going to work.
But the institution's going. But we're accepting this many people that
they can't do that. That's illegal. So affirmative action
now, but not.
No, it was.
Oh,
so affirmative action. When it was first put in, they did have quotas. And then I believe it was after a California school, it was a law school in California, they decided, the Supreme Court said that you can't use quotas. So there can't be a certain amount, but you can have race as a factor. Not the only factor, but a factor.
Really?
And that's what they just banned, race in any kind of factor, is what they just overturned.
Okay, so there was,
So there is no quota. That was illegal, I believe. Do your own research.
Here at Stay in the Gray, do your own fucking research. Look, what we were talking about earlier was the idea that
there is no quota they're trying to fill.
Right.
But I think a lot of these kids still have merit. They wouldn't survive college courses if they couldn't fit in at these Harvard. Like Harvard isn't going out of their way to make sure these extra students they let in that are like from like that are different races than maybe the stereotypical student there. They're not going out of their way to be like, here's free tutoring and all this other stuff.
Right.
They're letting them in, and then I believe I never went to Harvard, but
me neither.
Yeah,
they didn't want to.
But the idea is that they're getting in over other races that may be as equal or more qualified.
And that's where it's like we forget about the Asian Americans that are.
The objective of affirmative action is not to be racist or discriminatory in like a negative way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's to further propel underserved, I guess, minorities into like, opportunities
not
that are
outcomes.
good. And so the problem is, I think, I don't know whose idea this was, but they're like, statistically, Asian people score higher, so let's make it even harder for them to get in.
Sure.
Now. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Fair enough.
Stereotype.
And so that's where it's like we forget them. And so there are white students getting in over more qualified Asian Americans.
Oh, that's a twist.
And there's,
I wasn't ready for that twist, Trey. Were you?
Threw me off.
If you look up, there's a lot of Asian Americans now that are super happy about it because they're like, I'm getting rejected because I'm not this, like, I still score higher than.
Yeah, I'm getting rejected because I'm that smart.
I'm Asian, but I'm not at the top of the Asian classification.
Wow.
Let's not forget that qualification transcends race, ethnicity, gender, whatever the hell, right? But, the objective was to kind of, because back in the day, people were kind of racist. So it was like, oh, let's put these black people in college.
We have no history of racism in this
country. At all. Jim Crow, who's that? More like Sheryl Crow, anyway. the lady who was putting Kid Rock's picture away, anyway.
Hey.
No, but like...
Kid Rock's a smart guy.
I can't stand him. Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't like that guy.
Stay on topic.
Sorry, yeah.
We can talk Kid Rock later.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about
Kid Rock is not
your, so
he's not your crush.
But that's why but that's why Meg and I think that a more like justified metric to use would be income, because you could have people of any race of any income bracket, to be honest.
The only thing is, no one's ever going to be completely happy. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
Some kids are going to be like
not going to school, or this
Some
school.
kids are going to be like, oh, I grew up in a rich family, but they never gave me a dime. That kind of thing. So then you'll have those kind of problems. And so there's always going to be problems. And it just, affirmative action is so controversial because it just covers so, like, there is not a one size fits all.
But that's why I agree with you guys. Income is a blanket a qualification that I think would be great because it covers everybody.
Yeah.
In the right way. Well, almost
everybody.
Almost.
But also, I brought this up earlier, and you know what? Not everyone needs to go to college. We need bus drivers, electricians, linemen. We need
you can
plumbers.
make a lot of money from trade
as a master.
school.
Yeah, like an underwater welder.
Plumbers?
My goodness,
Underwater welder.
Yep, and Alaska.
Antwan, hold the phone.
Sorry.
Underwater welder. What the fuck is that?
They weld underwater, like.
But for what?
How does fire work underwater?
You know how there's
the
like.
hell if I know, but it happens.
Welding what? What are they doing?
They're like welding. Like the
bridges,
oil platform.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Trey, we should go to that school.
No,
I don't know if you're allowed to.
Yeah, I think you might have to. I think there's like a very.
What do you mean allowed
window.
to? Is that?
I don't know.
Is
It's
that
probably
racist?
an international. No. It's probably like international water and things like that.
because we're not international, we can't go.
Are you international?
Antwan, I'm going to go ahead and throw something out of you and change the subject because we gotta hurry here. Do you think it was more difficult at this point in your life to be gay or black?
Ooh, I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Yes, that's what I want.
Lie to them.
No.
Trey and I think it's hardest to be white.
To be a straight white man, my God, I feel for y'all.
Look, we're getting killed.
Yes, in the streets for no reason.
That's right. Go ahead. And
yeah, I think it's harder to be gay.
You think so?
Dating is hard.
Dating's hard.
Yeah. So
Do you have any? You know what, Trey? Trey told me earlier today that he had something he really wanted to talk about, and I think we should get to that before we close. I do not want to let this this has to be on the show. So
this particular story,
and this question, as a gay man, Trey and I are fascinated by, well, Trey mostly. I'm married and I watch Bravo, but Trey's out there. He's out there right now. He's just rolling the dice. He's like, I'm going to go
rolling the dice.
I'm going to go out. I've been divorced twice, and as you know, he's a great guy. And he's very curious to see what it's like to meet, whether it's on the apps. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, Trey, I don't know, maybe he is on the gay dating apps. He might be. If you see him, swipe right for
my ego,
just for his ego, just swipe right.
There isn't swiping right.
But I think the question is we're very curious about what it's like to meet somebody new in the gay world versus the straight world. And you have a story that's very interesting, and it represents the straight world. And I'm kind of ashamed by it, right?
Well, and I heard something the other day that these days, you don't ask for phone numbers, right? It's
Gen Z is like, no,
depends.
Phone.
Eventually, but it's not the first line of phone.
You can actually talk on the phone?
So
not to talk.
Is there ever any crazy story where somebody has approached you and said, hey, what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? Any cheesiness, any off the wall?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean like
approached you. So if I came up to you and said, hey, let's be Facebook friends, is that going to be super awkward to you? Or is that going to be like if your boyfriend came up to you before y'all were boyfriend and girlfriend and said, oh,
boyfriend, girlfriend,
will you be Facebook friends?
And then you went to the sixth grade
Nobody
dance.
our age uses Facebook for Facebook.
Okay, gotcha. So it'd be
marketplace.
Okay, so it'd be
Snapchat.
Instagram buddies.
Let me get your Snap.
Snap. Yeah, let me get your Snap.
I thought you told us earlier. Snap is just for one reason. Let me get your Snap.
Is just like what people communicate on, because there's no pictures of you would send pictures, but it's not linked to the rest of your social media. So you could block them theoretically, and they wouldn't know. Like if you gave them your Instagram, then they get to see a lot of your life.
Gotcha.
Right. So you don't know who these crazies are.
That's true.
So somebody awkwardly came up to you and said, "Hey, I want your Snap."
Well, the thing is, I think there's a lot less of that happening now, because I think nobody goes out and looks for people. And I think people have blinders on and they're with their friends.
So these days, if you went old school, walked up to a bar, said, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?"
No, that's fine. That happened.
Okay. That's fine. Oh,
so let me ask you this.
Yeah, that
let me ask you this. Either one of you.
Whoa.
So what if somebody came up to you and said, "I want your Snap." You're not interested, but he's got a gun to your head.
I would give them my Snapchat and then I'd block them
with a gun. They literally have a gun.
I would give them my Snapchat.
Give them the Snap.
Look, Trey's going somewhere with this.
Why would I not give them?
He's going somewhere with this.
I would give them my Snapchat. Okay. I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got a story here.
both of them were like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Snapchat's great. You block them. They don't know your number.
Yeah, but they're being too literal. Go ahead. Tell the story.
There's an Indianapolis woman here that was being robbed by gunpoint last month. And during this robbery, allegedly, this gentleman asked to be friends with her on Facebook because she was so cute. So while holding this weapon, he watched her pull up Facebook, watched her send a friend request to him, and he accepted her as a friend. So as they're talking on Facebook Messenger, he proceeded to let her know how beautiful she was and how I'm going to give you the money back. It was just a hard time in my life, and asked her out, to which, of course, I've got a boyfriend, but you seem very sweet, and I know it's hard times. So I'm just curious, any kind of craziness in the dating world that y'all run into, any crazy shit like that has ever come out?
I've had plenty of crazy stories.
But the ending to this story, a month later, he was actually arrested, thank goodness, in an alleged incident where he shot two people and hit another one in the head with a brick. So maybe giving out the Snapchat was probably the best thing to do. So
I mean, she could have turned him in. She had his Facebook.
But what was funny is that she kind of
she was chatting him up.
Yeah, she chatted him a little bit. She didn't just.
Story sounds fake.
Well,
hey.
Honestly,
look,
it's real.
No. Like it might be a real story, but she might have like
at Stay in the Great podcast, we only report the facts, the truth, and report.
Trust me, bro.
and it did say she was actually at her house, so I wonder if she was worried that he could come back too. So
that's true.
But she said she friended him on Facebook just to get him to leave.
So what is it like? Not only for straight, gay, whatever, as far as pickup lines in this day and age, like if you're in college, how do you meet people?
So it's going to be different for like the gay world. I think like there's still obviously those avenues from before, like when you go out to bars or you meet them in like a
So people still go out and like actually interact face to face.
Yes, but I think there is much, I mean, I can't speak to like how it was before I was born, but like from what it seemed, there was a lot more like you go out and you look for significant other, like you look for potential.
You're going out with a purpose.
Yes, and I think the purpose now is to go, I mean, for most people, it's like really not that big of a, like you go out with friends to have fun and you might meet people, but it's like you're like, I have dating apps. I have other ways to.
So dating apps takes place of that walking up awkwardly and trying to talk to somebody.
Did you see how excited he got because he's a dating app genius?
I don't know about genius, but yeah.
Trey is Antwan, are you a dating app guy?
Honestly, God, I hate dating apps.
You do? Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
I know, but
Meg, are you a dating app girl?
I have a boyfriend.
No, but in general,
yeah,
like
my last
before
ex,
your boyfriend, whatever.
My last ex, I met on Hinge, and he was
Hinge. What the fuck?
And he was unhinged.
And he was.
Is
I've heard of Hinged.
What is look?
He was.
What is Hinged?
So no. Hinge. Okay. So there's 3 main dating apps that people use. There's Tinder.
Okay, that's still going on.
Bumble. Okay. And then there's Hinge. So
Bumble's where the girls get to choose, right?
Girls get to.
Well, they make the first interaction.
They make the first, which is really nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah,
take it easy.
Because Tinder, the guys get to message you first if they want.
That's probably creepy, right?
Well, no, because you got to match first before you.
No, but it is.
Is it?
They'll say like the craziest things, like.
Well, I've heard
like
that.
They'll just be like, "Sit on my face."
Yeah, I've heard
like,
that.
That's the pickup line.
That was Trey.
So you're saying that doesn't work?
Not on me.
Look how defensive you're getting over there, Trey.
Yeah, not on me.
Well, I tell you,
you'd probably get reported for
my boring ass opening line was just hello, and
I love a good hello.
And so
I love a good hello.
But honestly, I would say dumb shit. Like I would tell them that, like I actually met a woman that was a professional chef.
Oh,
so yeah, I was like, okay, well, cool. I told her I have a 5-year-old palate, and she's like, okay, well, I'll make sure I take you somewhere with chicken nuggets. I said, well, if they're not shaped like dinosaurs, I will send them back and we will leave. And she unmatched me right after that.
Okay, so that's I don't know why she would
She is wow.
So the trash took itself out.
Yeah.
Because that's a great thing.
You're making a joke.
You can really get people's vibes over text. If they can't read your sarcasm through text, they probably won't read it in person.
Yeah.
Really?
I told her.
You think that?
Yes, because I text people and I used to message them and I had a couple things that would be like, let me.
But text is hard to
it's fun though.
Portray sarcasm.
Doing? And I'd be like wallowing in self-pity. How they respond to that is going to indicate whether I care to go on a date with them. Because that's my sense of humor.
I told a woman once before, I said, listen, don't be upset if my mom comes in and introduces herself, when she drops me off for the date. And I said, it's very cool,
Close.
No?
That's walking too close because I would.
You ran into that?
Does he live with his mom?
Well, I told her, I said, listen, I'll be honest with you. I live with.
No, I get that.
I said, I live with my mom, so she's going to drop me off. I said, I don't work. I said, because there's too many cool video games out right now. And I'm focused on these video games. And then they went silent.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what to say to that?
Well, because I don't know if there was any actual sarcasm in that.
Meg is a classy woman.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
She's
I'm not
gonna
responding
deal
to
with video
sit
game
on my
bullshit.
face.
So maybe I'm trash. I mean, I would not respond to that. But I think I would think you were joking.
Is there, Antwan, is there a gay version of Bumble or like what's?
So if you.
Have you been on any of these?
Unfortunately.
Oh.
You have to give everything a little trial run.
Okay.
But so there's Tinder and Bumble like works the same kind of.
Okay. So, that's right, because you can choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there is this one app that is it's just really like it's so disgusting. It's
Grindr.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Grindr.
So he's been on there. So and so pretty much.
Grindr is so creepy.
It's like the worst.
Is it super creepy?
People everyone on there is just so like feral.
The fact that he just said you were on there is Antwan's my man. We're doing a whole separate podcast about you and Trey. Anyway, go ahead, Antwan.
No, but everyone on there is just like so like they're just so down bad, thirsty, feral, fiending.
Oh man,
you're also
sex.
On there.
I was on there.
Is it only for like hookups?
Well, okay. So when I go in there, I try to make friends, but then they're
friends.
Yeah. Well,
who has time for that?
Okay, most people use that app just like for like hooking up and like sex, right?
Right.
But
I don't know. I mean, I just said right. I just said right. Whatever.
There's always the possibility of finding.
Yeah, like there are like some actually like neat people that I've talked to on there, but a lot of them are kind of creepy. And for some reason, like creepy old men love me. A couple weeks ago, like a month, this older guy was like, "I'm going."
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he was like 40.
Older, yeah.
No, he
what's
was
older?
probably like 60.
Oh,
okay, good.
That's old.
That's old.
That is old.
That's old.
Antwan just lied to you guys. I know he did.
Wait, what?
He actually 60.
He's 60. All right.
No, he must have been. And he was like, "I want to take you down to Fort Worth and."
No, do the accent
and
more.
It sounds like he's a white redneck too.
No, yeah. He was like, "I want to take you down to Fort Worth and buy her a nice steak dinner." And
were you in fact doing a redneck?
Redneck
no,
white guy?
Like Southern.
Okay.
Did
Southern.
you go?
No, hell no. He was so creepy.
You didn't go? Oh.
We talked on the phone twice, and he was so like.
We were hoping for the show. You would have gone.
Do they use a lot of filters on Grindr?
What do you mean filter?
Like as far as because like
filters.
I've like these women that I've met, they look 35 on the fucking picture. You get there, they're 50. So it's like, what the fuck happened?
No, so what happens to me? I don't know why. I guess I just like look young and impressionable for some reason. A lot of older men will like send me pictures of them when they were like in their maybe like 40s and not like 50s and 60s. And they'll be like, haha, this is me. I'm like, you're lying.
Okay, so they do. Because I always wonder, I was like, you're going to fucking meet. Why are we showing pictures where just certain angles where you don't see the full picture? This was new to me.
Oh, shit.
Going back into the dating world, 40 years old, I'm like, okay, how do you do this? So I jump on the apps, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's meet. And I'm like, what the fuck did I get myself into? So, and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to lead.
It's just about misrepresentation. It's not about like, here, Stand the Gray, we love any size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And personalities.
And personality.
Lies are like not cool.
No.
Right.
So.
But then I feel like an asshole when I drop her off on the side of the street and leave her. But just kidding.
Look at
both their faces. They were like,
Trey, both guests were like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me right
now? So I was like talking to this guy. And mind you, this man is 37 years old. And so we're talking and we're supposed to like meet up to hang out one night, right? And so I like meet at said location and I was like, I'm here in this parking garage, like so we can like, come get me, please. I don't know like what's going on. And so then like no response for like 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna go home and go to bed because I'm so tired. I've had a long day of, class. And so then I go back home, and then he's like blowing up my phone. I'm like, where are you? Mind you, at this point, he was like sloshed, like super drunk.
Sure.
And then he was like, well, like, he just really got mad at me for like leaving. And I was like, well,
what?
I waited for you, but like you were too drunk to like actually come get me. So that's like a red flag in and of itself, but whatever. Then like the next day, like we actually ended up hanging out. And then he just casually mentions how like he does like cocaine and other drugs, and I was like, oh, okay,
well, fair enough.
Yeah. And then all in all, this is we like ended up like, hanging out twice over the course of like 1 week. Actually, like less than 7 days apart.
Because I went out of town.
Oh, you were in town.
Remember?
Oh,
I left.
So it was your fault, Meg.
He said.
Sounds
what
like
did you say? You said when you leave, I leave the neighborhoods and go to the streets.
When when I get bored, I leave the suburbs and I go to the streets.
Yeah.
You know. And then at one point, I thought he liked me a bit too much. I was like, no. And so I was like, can we talk? And he was like, oh shit, fuck, we don't have to date if we don't want to. Like just blowing up my phone.
This is within a week.
Yeah, like less than 7 days.
Holy shit.
And I was like, oh my God. And then, so, then like I call him and I was like, no. And so I was a lot nicer about it. And I gave him like a slight explanation as to why I was having, apprehensions about that.
Right.
You tell him it wasn't him, it's you, right?
I mean, it was actually entirely him, but I lied. He just gave me the
Well,
ick.
yeah.
Well, yeah, he just gave me like the severe
a weird vibe.
Ick. My goodness.
He's giving me
I thought he was
a weird vibe right now.
Cans all over his room and cigarettes.
Oh, that guy?
I was talking about that guy.
Oh, this is a different one. Okay.
Oh, that one. I don't know if we
cocaine
even have
and
time
cigarettes.
for that one, but never mind.
Look, we have time for everything.
Okay, I can.
Well, like I told you, we're gonna go 6 hours, 26, whatever. How many hours?
Okay, so like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, so this guy.
I'll cut the rest of the entire show for this.
So then I like call him, and then he hangs up, and he goes, "Sorry, I didn't want to cry over the phone. Also, I'm drunk."
What?
He says I'm drunk, right? It was 9:30 on a Friday morning. Why was he drunk?
Damn.
Like, what the heck?
You broke that man's heart.
All right. So did he wake up and drink, or was he drunk from the night before?
I think, honest to God, I think he had like a problem with like alcoholism
Yeah.
and
Well.
cocaine.
Yeah.
And then 9
Yeah. We're talking, and I was like, okay, we can hang out. And by hang out, I mean I was in this moment kind of feral, and so go to his house. And so then, okay, so then
You don't have to tell the whole story.
Everyone
Just
take it
explain,
easy.
like,
you don't have to take
his house.
Whatever you
okay,
comfortable
it was
with
like a nice house, right? It was his dad's house. It was a nice house though. But we go to his room,
his dad's house.
and there are like his
Fair enough.
dad had like back surgery, so like he
Oh, his dad was there.
yeah, but asleep, like sound asleep off of the drugs, I guess.
So you think?
That's what I hope so.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were asleep. They're good,
But
good.
then I go to his room. There, I shit you not, like at least 20 Coke cans
What?
dispersed throughout. And he's also like a smoker. Actually, why the story isn't what's funny is because I never struggle to get a man aroused. Like I have skills, like I have never
Okay,
struggled
move on.
with this.
Fair enough. I mean, look, Trey has the same skills.
But yeah, okay, well, that's why we're friends now. Yeah,
That's right.
But he just could not, I think he was suffering from a case of the ED because of all the freaking Coke and cigarettes.
well, sure.
My God,
That may do it.
Yeah, it was not me. I
How
promise.
old was he?
Like my age.
I would never
so he's
think it was
young.
you.
Yeah, so I was like, something's wrong here, and it's not me. So I left.
Or you left. You're
Done.
Just like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I this needs to be a little bit easier of a process.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
No shame.
No
They
shame.
have no shame.
Antwan, now that we've spent some time together, do you get any kind of a gay vibe from Trey?
Oh, shit.
Like I told you earlier, when I walked in this house, he pulled me aside and went, "Here is $7.01. This is all I have in my wallet right now."
$7.
He was like, "All I need in the bathroom is 5 minutes."
Oh, shit.
And I said, "Trey, I
5
am a
minutes.
good Christian." Yeah.
That's ambitious, actually, Trey. Go
And I said, "I am a good Christian boy, and I'm worth more than that. Come back when your funds are in order."
He's got to do a little OT, a little overtime.
Got it.
enough.
I mean, he seems cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Antwan.
That was a great look. I couldn't ask for a better answer to that. I was just curious because, again, if you guys listen to most of the shows, people have kind of questioned this whole aura that Trey puts out.
The aura.
He goes and paints his toenails.
And
What's
that is
the
okay.
answer?
He shaves his legs. He, he's got some tendencies.
I like to be aerodynamic.
He's a cleanly
Takes
man.
care of his feet. He's selling feet.
I'm a little behind on this one, so.
But what I will say, Trey, is that if
Please
at
give
any
Trey some
point
advice.
you're ever like, maybe I do want to take a dip in the man pond. Don't let anyone ever shame you. Just be who you are. Be
Unless
yourself.
you're going to have Coke cans and cigarettes in your room, then clean it first.
Clean that first,
Antwan,
right?
I thought you were about to offer, like, Trey, let me know.
I mean, I think Trey's pretty cute.
He's cute. Even with that haircut.
Easy now.
I like the haircut.
Easy.
England.
It's England.
British vibe.
It's England.
The
Easy.
shaped, but the best
Given the
sides.
UK.
Yeah.
That's great. Trey, look at how nervous Trey
Killing
looks
me.
right now.
Killing me.
I have that effect on people. I make
Yeah, you do. Antwan, you guys are awesome. This has been fantastic. Is there anything else you'd like to put out there for this show? I think we have to do a follow-up. Don't you, Trey?
Absolutely.
Because
Before I leave.
July 31st.
We're both leaving.
Yeah.
He's moving me in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
so before you leave for your law school, which is out of state,
In
we'll
redacted.
we'll get you to come back. And what?
I said in redacted.
Yeah. Oh, you guys and your
Your big words
big
and shit.
words,
SAT words.
SAT words. Before you go, we're gonna have you guys back on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Did you have fun tonight?
I had a good time.
I feel like I got both. I got like, yeah, I had fun, but then I also got like, it was all right.
Well, no, I had fun.
Meg's gonna get a talking to. What the fuck did you bring me into?
Oh my god.
So we appreciate you being on. We'd love to have you back. Is there anything else that you feel like you need to say before we roll?
Meg's ready.
As Gen Z,
Give your
represent Gen Z.
that little thing you say before you leave places.
Before I leave, I like to say, and that's enough activism for today.
That's not what I was talking about.
What are you talking about then?
You say something like,
Hasta la pasta.
no, not that.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
That I like. No, but that's somebody else's podcast.
Trey says that all the time.
I am now.
Wait, what?
You say something like, I can't remember it now. You say it like all the time.
Thoughts inclusive, ass protrusive,
Okay, hold on. Ready? Go.
Thoughts inclusive. Shit. No. Okay. Okay. Thoughts intrusive, ass protrusive, trans inclusive.
I don't know if there's any way to end the show better than that. What do you think, Trey?
I don't think so.
I love you guys. Will you come back?
Yeah.
Love it.
Sweet.
We'd love it. We had such a blast.
Absolutely.
All right. Love you guys.
Later. Well, after that show, apparently I need to go clean the Coke cans and cigarettes up.